up? Welcome back to the channel. James here, and I'm here with a very exciting interview with the one and only Karen. How you doing, Karen?
Hey James, I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's always a fun day when we have somebody from Perth, our hometown here, and
Yeah.
you are very much a very special guest because as people here at home are about to find out, you are a very busy woman. You're a parent, a grandparent. You're owner and runner of multiple businesses. You've done a lot of different things throughout your life. You also volunteer. You do a lot of things there as well. You probably don't sleep at all, from the sounds of it. And you're very much a very successful, busy person who probably doesn't have time to run an online business, but here you are running an online business and make a lot of money online. So what I wanted to do in today's interview is kind of go through your story, your background, how you're able to do all this stuff while also being very, very busy. And there's definitely some lessons that you can definitely share with the people at home as well. But Karen, give us a bit of context. So before you came into our little weird world of Ecom Boss, where were you before? What are you doing? Give us a bit of rundown there.
Okay, well, as you just said, I've got a couple of businesses that I run, one which is our main business that we've had for 30 years, which is obviously a good business to have for 30 years. But it's heavy work and hard work for my husband. I've got the easy side of it with the designing, etc. But I've always thought I would love to do something that I can take anywhere in the world, not have to pay out for leasing premises, big expenses on equipment and stuff like that. And I thought there's got to be something. So I'm always looking at different things. I've tried a few other different things. I've tried other type forms of drop shipping, which didn't work for me. But I thought, well, I'll keep trying. And then one day your face popped up on my Facebook page. And I thought, oh, this guy's in Perth. He's an Australian. Not that I've got anything against anyone else, but um, I thought, well, let's have a look at this. I looked at a few of your YouTube videos. And I suppose, like in everybody, when you're first looking, there is a little bit of, oh, does this really work or doesn't it? But there was something about you and your team that came across differently to me, that was more genuine than others I had come across, that were a bit more gimmicky. The other guys, you didn't have the Lamborghini. I don't know why you didn't have the
All
Lamborghini. Um, so you were a lot more genuine, and everybody seemed a lot more genuine. So I thought, got nothing to lose. I'll give it a try.
right.
Um, so I did. I jumped in there, and I've never looked back. Everybody is really supportive. There's always someone there to answer your questions. Everyone is really helpful. You don't just like take your money and run, basically. There's always someone there to help you. And everyone that I've come across, from, Dan, Emmett, yourself, have always been really, really supportive. So with that behind you, as long as you follow the system that you guys have, you can't go wrong. And I also believe with the time thing, if you want to do something badly enough, you will find the time.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm busy, but I do sleep occasionally. But you find the time. So that's
Yeah.
what I really just wanted to do something like this, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's so great. And one of the biggest things that's so cool about you is the fact that again, is that you started, you are very, very busy, and you've come in, and even if this isn't the thing that you are the most comfortable with, I know you mentioned earlier before we started filming this that you weren't like the best with technology. It wasn't really like
Oh,
your
I'm
forte.
hopeless.
You're coming in and you're running laps around a lot of people who have been on technology their entire lives. It's pretty hard for us to have a day where on WhatsApp we're messaging with you, you're not telling us how you made 200, 300, 400, $500 that day, all because you just took the time to learn it, which is really cool. And the other thing that I think is interesting is that you mentioned that you've sort of been through other programs before, or you tried other models in the past that didn't work out. And there is a lot of people who maybe have been through a program or a course and they tried it, it didn't work out, whether it's the course's fault or they just didn't try hard enough, could be a few different things, or it could just be a really bad model. But for most people, they take that, and if it didn't work out the first time, they say, I'm never going to try again, which is silly because it would kind of be like having, I don't know, your first boyfriend or girlfriend when you're 13 years old. It didn't work out and saying, I'm never going to ask anyone out to date ever again. You always got to
Yeah.
keep trying. But most people don't actually do that when it comes to online business. So for you, like what inspired you to keep trying, to keep looking for maybe getting some extra help or trying a different system?
Um, I think it was the way that you came across when I saw you on your Facebook ads. As I said, you seemed genuine, and it just came across as a lot easier than
Yeah,
how the other people had portrayed theirs.
cool.
And it's there's that old saying, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And
Yes,
try again,
100%.
3 or 4 times. So, but it's been something I've been interested in for a very long time. So I didn't want to give up after the first one that didn't work. And also, as you said, I'm not tech savvy at all,
Mm,
but your course is not as bad as I thought it would be. I thought I'm going to be hopeless, but it's not. It's not that hard. And once you get the hang of it, it's actually quite easy. And
cool.
each step that I've done, first of all, I've gone, oh, how am I going to do this? But then, follow the process. I follow the recording of Emmett a million times. I don't know how many times I put him on pause, but um, it's not that hard. So, and I'm absolutely hopeless at tech stuff, but I'm managing to get through it without having
Yeah,
to ask too many questions. But again, you guys never mind if someone asks 100 questions. So yeah, that's um, yeah. I just don't give up after the first time. If it doesn't work, try again.
of course not. We
Yeah,
agree. And the other thing as well is when
it has chopped out there, James. I've
it comes to
lost
tech
you.
is people get surprised when I tell them, oh, we'll let it stabilize for a second. Can you hear me all good now?
I can hear.
Am I coming
Sorry.
through all
Yeah,
good now?
yeah. I
Beautiful.
missed what you said just then, though.
That's all good. The biggest thing is that a lot of people think that I would be super tech savvy, and that's me, but I'm actually not either. I had to learn a lot of this stuff on the job as well. I'm very much a creative person. I love making and designing and coming up with ideas, almost similar to you with your role with one of your main businesses. But I'm not a very tech savvy person. I've had to learn as I go.
Yeah,
And what we've tried to do with all of our training and our tools we give you, we try to just make it as simple as possible so that anyone can do it. In fact, one of the funniest things we love to joke about is that Liz, which is one of our softwares that we give you,
yeah.
probably the most complicated part of the entire program is setting up Liz, which isn't very complicated.
No, it's not.
But we got to the point where, in order for you to click on the file to install it, we literally named the file single click to install Lays like that. There's tech is certainly not an excuse. What did you think in terms of the system? Because it is very different to your standard drop shipping around building a store when you're starting out. Like we went into marketplace, and that's been your biggest moneymaker. So what did you think of
Yeah.
sort of that experience going through a different route?
Well, I really enjoyed the marketplace thing. That's still, I know there's Etsy and eBay, which I haven't even touched on yet. So I'm really excited to be able to get to those ones as well, because I know how well I have done on marketplace. And I see others in the group who've done well on Etsy, and I think, oh gosh, once I get to that or get
Yeah.
into that part, that should do really well as well. But marketplace is a different type of selling. I've been in sales all my life, but
Yes.
always face-to-face type sales. So what I
Yep.
did with marketplace is to bring in my sales skills, which anyone can do. Just treat it like you're actually face to face
Yes.
and welcome people and thank them for their inquiries. And when you finish the conversation, say something like, have a great, thanks for inquiring with me. Have a lovely evening. And being more personable definitely helps. And yes, it's available. How many would you like? You've got to be
Yes.
a bit more personable and definitely follow what you say in your scripts. But
Mm.
um, I found that adding in those few little personable extras really makes a big difference too, which everybody can add in their own way. So
Absolutely. And
that's really
marketplace
helpful.
is so cool because it's one of those ones where with eBay and Etsy, as you're going to go through those, you're going to find like it's fairly passive. Of course, you're putting up the products yourself, but sales just start to come in, and you don't have to do too much to really get them across the line because people just go out and they purchase on their own accord. The cool thing with marketplace is though, is and we're talking about this before, it's not just what you do, but it's how well you do it. And with marketplace, you've got people who are selling products for like 200, 300, $400 sales or a couple of sales put together. Like that's amazing, and that is worth going out there and thinking for a second and going, well, what could I say or help this customer with to make them want to spend a few $100 sales with me. We've got people doing multi-thousand-dollar sales, and it's ridiculous. Even one of my best friends here in Perth, he has, and this is completely different to ecom, but he uses Facebook Marketplace to get inquiries for a sliding glass door business he has, and they do
Mm.
millions a year. And it's only because he has a conversation with them on Marketplace, gives them a call, and then he sells them $1,000 packages. You know,
Yeah,
it's the same
yeah.
thing with this. And without giving away your products, what niches are you in that are doing the best for you? Not what you're selling, but like the niches you're in.
It's in home products, like in the house. And I've tried a few different things.
Yeah.
There's a couple that are working for me, but you you're still always in the background will think, oh, you constantly thinking about, oh, what other product can I use? And I sit at night on AliExpress and scroll through things that are selling, or I might see other advertising and think, oh, that could work. But mainly for me at the moment, it's home products, yeah.
Yeah. And there's such a good niche as well because we've always found that you say, for example, if you find a really cool novel lamp, right, as an example, right? People normally are not going to buy one lamp. You know, you might have one either side of a bed, and then you might have, how many kids do you have? You have three kids. Well, it's like, well, what if we did a bundle deal? And then instead we did six for the price of four and you get this really cool discount because you're normally not going to have just one. You're usually going to have a couple, especially if there's some sort of symmetry involved, or it's, you know, you're not going to have half a book stand. You're going to have one for bookend, right? You have one for both ends. Like there's always kind of ways for you to bundle and just make extra money there, which is super fun. I know that you've been doing some cool things there. I
Yeah.
guess now that you've found time for this, you've started to make the money online that you sort of were wanting to early on. Now we're starting to scale that up, expand to do territory, get into Shopify as well. The biggest thing is for you, if somebody was new to the online space, or they're like you and they've been thinking about starting for a long time, but they never did, what are some of the biggest pieces of advice you would give them as somebody who's obviously overcome that and actually now doing it every single day?
I would say to anyone thinking about it, don't think, just do it, give it a try, because you'll never know unless you don't give it a try. For the people that have just started, be consistent. That's the biggest thing. You must be consistent, and you put that in all the systems that you go through and talking to Dan and Emmett. Consistency is key. If you don't do it every single day, make that time, morning, noon, night, whenever, it won't work like you say. So you have to be consistent. And as I mentioned earlier, a couple of weeks ago, I was really crook for about 2 weeks. I didn't do it every day like I normally do, probably managed every second.
Yeah.
And I noticed it was a little quieter, but as soon as I got back on every day,
Yeah.
the inquiries started to come back in again.
Yeah.
And like any business, you're going to have your quiet days, even when you are consistent.
Of
But
course.
don't give up, stay there, stay consistent. The program will work,
Yeah.
definitely will work.
100%.
Yeah.
It's quite funny because it's the way that our minds work sometimes, but it's like if you say being really consistent at the gym for a few weeks, you're just trying to get into the gym for the first time, and then you know for a few days, you know Ben and Jerry's called your name and you're slacking off a little bit, you didn't go to the gym. It's like it's not the end of the world. You know, it's not going to change everything and undo all the work that you've done. But the thing that people mix up is they go, well, that's it. I better wait until January next year for the next New Year's resolution. I'm just going to eat Ben and Jerry's every day for the rest of the year, and it's February. You know, like that's the thing that can mess people up. And so sometimes people might have a bad week and just stuff gets up. And even for me, there are times where I might have a really bad week and I don't get as much done as I'd like to have got done. But you can't then throw in the towel and go, that's it. It's over. You know, it's never going to work ever again, and then suddenly lose the rest of your year. You know, even if you do get sick, you hop back on the bandwagon because it's not a case of some, you know, spiritual jinxing where if you don't do it every 24 hours, like the ritual doesn't work. It's more a case of just building that habit. Because when we're consistent and we have that habit coming in, like we just get rewarded for it. What we get out is usually what we put in. And so, yeah, if you're sick, it's not the end of the world. You want to make sure you hop back on the bandwagon.
And it's exciting when I get a message coming off Messenger and I'm like, oh, wow, who is it? What do they want?
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
hope it's not one of my friends just messaging me. It needs to be
Oh,
Marketplace,
the
not my.
worst. Yeah, you don't want to hear from your friends, you know?
So,
People paying you.
um, yeah, it's really exciting when the phone pings, and then when you do get a sale, regardless of how big the sale is, it's exciting. The
Yeah.
other day, I had one person buy 4 items, so that was great too. I haven't had four at once before. Um, but yeah, it's really exciting. And then I think what will, if I'm doing okay now, then what is it going to be like when I finish my Shopify store, when I do get Etsy and eBay up and running.
100%.
It's just unlimited.
Yeah, and like you were saying, it's like your first sale was $79, was it?
$79. It was very exciting.
How long did it take you to get that? Was it your first month? Was it your first couple of weeks? How long did it take you?
From memory was oh about 2 or 3 weeks, I think, from memory. Yeah.
Not bad, not bad at all.
And it was
Okay.
a really obscure thing as well, which I thought, oh, who's going to buy these? But
Yep.
I thought I'll throw it up there. I got lots of inquiries on it, but yeah, that was my first sale.
It's always funny. The things that you least expect to sell sometimes are the things that sell. That's it's
Yeah,
we
definitely.
always we always tell our clients sometimes it's like, people say, should I sell this? And I'm like, well, if it fits these criteria, put it up. And even if it seems a little bit weird and neither of us think it could work, it still might.
Oh,
It's always
definitely,
the
for
weirdest
sure.
stuff, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Interesting. So first sale was $79. Obviously, that's the best feeling in the world. You go from, is this possible, to, oh my God, this is real. And it doesn't matter how much money you've made in your career, that first sale just means everything. You feel
yeah,
like you're king of the world. And then as we go, and now you're obviously doing these multi-$100 sales, I think is a really consistent for you. What's going to happen is as with marketplaces, we're finding products and we're getting paid to find products. We're not spending any money to find them. So you're getting all this information and intel in terms of what could sell. You're making a bunch of money, but then as you go into something like Shopify, we can take those things that already we know who's buying it, we know why they're buying it, we know what sells. And then when you build a store and you put a bit of money behind it in terms of ads, it means that you're doing it, you're not gambling. You've got a pretty sure stacked deck, you know if it's going to sell or not. It's just a case
yeah,
of make sure your ads are good enough and your product page is set up the way that we teach you. You're in a
yeah.
really good spot. And then you add an eBay, you add an Etsy, and these are just extra income streams, and you find more it's very, very exciting. It can be overwhelming, don't get me wrong, but as
Yeah.
it all starts to come together, you realize it's like a puzzle. Like it really does all fit together once it's all complete. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. I can see it all coming together. I can see now how it all works. And one of the first things that I did think was, how am I going to find a product to sell? I'm sure everybody thinks that.
Yeah.
But in time, that even gets easier. You kind of get to know what is working for you, and then you might randomly throw something else up and then that works or it doesn't, but that also, for because I feel that would be one of your biggest questions: how do I know what to sell? Because I know that's what I thought.
Yep.
You do start to learn what works and what doesn't,
100%. Yeah. And
and
I
that
I
gets
see
easier.
this a lot. Like we get people who will say, do you give us a list of products to sell? And I say no. And they say, well, why? And it's like, well, first of all, it wouldn't be a very good list if I gave it to everybody. That's the first thing. But
Yeah,
secondly, is you want to be able to learn to do it for yourself. Because if I was just feeding you products all day, every day, if I got hit by a bus on St. George's Terrace tomorrow, where are you going to find your products from? Like you over time, you need to learn in the same way your parents taught you how to walk, and then eventually go out there and walk on your own. You start to learn. We give you the feedback. We prove products for you early on, so you obviously have all the support that you need. But then what happens is you kind of get that like sixth sense where you would go
yeah,
through and look at products. You're like, I know that'll do well, and then there'll be this weird product. You're like, I don't know, but let's try it. And like you get that gut feeling, and then ends up being like a big money maker for you.
yeah.
That's sort of what the journey is. I explain that a lot, and like, yeah, it's a perfect example. You're a perfect example of that.
Yeah, and that you sum that up perfectly. It's the sixth sense that you do start to get, for sure.
Yeah. And sometimes you can't explain it, especially some of the weirder things. Some of the
Yeah,
weirder things you can't explain it, but like you can almost put yourself in the lens of, if I was scrolling through Marketplace, because you see a lot of products, you're scrolling through eBay, you see a lot of products, 'cause you do this every day, right? If something stands out to you when you've seen everything, it's definitely going to stand out for the average person. That's the best way to kind of explain it. If you see a product that gets your attention, unless it's something that's like you're really into and it's like something that's very niche, it's probably just because it will stand out to an average person because you're so desensitized at this point, normal products.
yeah, yeah.
I
No,
love it.
I'm excited, really. Like I was excited at the beginning. I'm still excited, and I think it's a really great system that you have. It's really, really good, and the support is amazing, second to none.
That means a lot. There's a lot of horror stories I hear on a daily basis from people who have been through other programs and they're maybe looking to jump in with Ecom Boss and they're like, "So do you actually help us? Like, or is that like a lie?" And you're like, "What do you mean? Is it a lie?" But like, there's a lot of things out there where it's like you get support, and that support is you can email us at some point, and you might get a reply, maybe. Like people are so shocked to see that you actually have a coach who's replying with you every single day.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. And I know that Emmett must be really busy because he would have a lot of people that he's got to help. So but he
We
just
have
seems to be on his message thing 24/7.
Emmett is amazing. It's again, it's a small team. It's like there's like Emmett, there's Dan, there's me, there's a couple other ones who are sort of involved part time. But the biggest thing is like when we have a system that is so simple and things are so streamlined, you have a software that helps you with this, you have a template that helps you with this. A lot of the times it's more just specific feedback on specific things. It's never really repeating the same things over and over again, which makes our job a lot easier because we can come in and give you custom feedback on specific things as opposed to trying to teach you everything when everything's laid out for you perfectly like gospel and you just follow it, which is really, really cool. And we're also very blessed to have amazing clients who come in, ask great questions, and they really value our time. And Emmett has some really cool, he's a PC guy. I'm a laptop guy. I've never even had a desktop in my life, but he has a desktop with multiple monitors and he has the different like shortcuts on his keys. I don't know how he does it.
I
Uh,
know he's so quick on the
Very impressive.
keyboard, and I just think, oh, what did you do there?
I'm still learning. I actually showed him something recently that blew his mind. Where what I have is I love to talk a lot, as I'm sure you've noticed. Like I don't usually shut up. But I found this thing. It's called Whisper Flow. It's a little AI tool. And what happens is if you don't want to type something out because that takes time, you press and hold a key on your computer and you talk. And then it transcribes it, and then AI formats it like a message and sends it. So you can just press and reply to something and let go. So on stuff like Marketplace, so if we're say replying to a client, we do that now and we can just get a bunch of feedback over or reply to a message on Marketplace super quickly without having to sit there and format and use your apostrophes and your commas.
Oh,
And
that's cool. That's cool.
yeah, I've still got a couple of tricks up my sleeve as well. But yeah, it's very, very, very cool how efficient some things are. And look, you are amazing. We're so proud of how far you've come. You're a great example again of people who say, I don't have the time, they have a job, they have a hobby. It's like you have massive family, massive businesses, bunch of hobbies, helping people out on the side as well. Like you do so much and you're still able to find the time and make no excuses. And so you are exactly the kind of people that we love working with. And you should be very, very proud of how far you've come. You really should.
Thank you. Yeah, I am. I'm loving it. Thank you.
I love it. Is there any other final wisdom you wish to impart on the people watching at home before we wrap this thing up?
Jump in, give it a go. You won't regret it.
I agree. I completely agree. I'm biased, but I agree. And look, you've lived it, you've done it, you did jump in, and you're definitely getting rewarded for it. So it's good advice.
Yeah.
You're amazing, Karen. Thank you so much for hanging out. People at home, I don't know how many more of these interviews I need to do. The biggest thing is this stuff is not magic. It's not a get rich quick scheme, but it really does work. We really do give a shit. We really do care. We really are going to help you. But it comes down to you taking that leap, just doing it, like Nike says, and applying the system because everything is here for you. It's 2025. All it takes is a little bit of effort, and you are going to be very impressed with how far you can go. But for now, have an amazing day. Karen, thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Thanks, James. See you then. Bye.